A very good evening to everyone present here. It is truly a matter of immense pride and joy for me to welcome you all to this special occasion. I extend my heartfelt greetings to our Honorable Senior Professor Ajay Kumar Singh Sir, our respected Director Professor Mahesh Sharma Sir, respected Registrar Sir Dr. R.S. Singh Sir, and our esteemed guest speakers Mr. Sanjeev Yadav Sir. Respected faculty members, moderator of today's session, and my dear fellow students. I, Tanisha Tyagi, BBA batch 24-28, I feel deeply honored to stand before you today at the 66th online interaction session hosted by the Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research, an institution renowned for its commitment to academic excellence, industry integration, and the holistic development of future leaders. At DSPSR, we believe that education transcends the boundaries of textbooks. True learning begins when theory meets practice and when classrooms extend into conversations with real world leaders. Today's theme, leadership development, is not one timely but also essential in shaping us into responsible professional and change makers of tomorrow. To commence this session on an auspicious note, let us now take a part in a symbolic ritual, the lighting of the virtual lamp. This act represents the removal of darkness and the ushering in of wisdom and enlightenment. May this flame of knowledge guide us toward clarity, confidence, and leadership in the day ahead. With this, and I would now request Arun sir to kindly play the virtual lamp lighting video.
महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शुभं भवतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते.
Thank you, Arun sir. A very good evening. Sorry. Now, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome today's distinguished guest, Mr. Sanjeev Yadav, a seasoned professional whose career reflects a rare combination of technical depth, leadership, and continuous evolution. With over 8.7 years of experience in quality assurance, test management, and process improvement, Mr. Yadav sir has successfully led cross-functional teams, implemented high-performing automation frameworks, and contributed to critical projects across industries such as automobile, insurance, telecommunication, banking, and retail. Now, as a data scientist at Advika Solutions, he brings a unique edge by merging his extensive QA expertise with advanced analysis using data-driven insights to solve complex business challenges. His journey from quality leadership to data science showcases both his adaptability and commitment to lifelong learning. We are truly honored to have him with us today. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Sanjeev Yadav, sir. We look forward to learning from your rich experience and insights. Now, on the other hand, we have our moderator. So please welcome our moderator. Please join me in welcome Mrs. Priya Jindal, a dynamic second-year BCom honors student and aspiring HR and finance professional. With hands-on internship experience, leadership roles, and certifications in digital skills. She brings energy, dedication, and a passion of learning. We are delighted to have her with us today. Your valuable presence adds great strength to today's events and to all our participants joining us from different places, eager to learn and grow. Let us make this 1 hour a truly enriching experience. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Ms. Priya Jindal, ma'am. Please, Priya Jindal.
Thank you, Tanisha. Good evening, sir. It's truly a pleasure to have you with us today here, and thank you so much for joining us in the session. We are looking forward to hearing your insights and experiences. So, on behalf of our institution and students, I would like to ask you some questions, which I believe would be very valuable for our audience. So, can I ask my first question to you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So my first question to you is, sir, what motivated you to transition from QA and testing roles to managerial and lead positions?
Okay, so first I would like to tell you, thank you very much to everyone, and especially Professor Ajay Kumar Singh. And really, it's my pleasure. And in other words, you can say, it's really great to being among all of you and sharing my experience here. So, as you have asked me, very simple question, like what was the transition from QA to roles into managerial or lead role,
Yes.
like that. Okay. So let's begin from somewhere. As all of you know, my name is Sanjeev Yadav. I have been working on various platforms. I think you have heard very well in intro. So tell me, in the beginning, I started my job, by testing, so as a testing software professional, like checking if as example, you can say, like checking if a game or app is working properly or not. And in other words, testing, what is the quality of this software. And as per modern day, we used to, be most of people, we call it like app, but before, in my time, we used to call it like software and, some other, technical word. I enjoyed it because it was like, being a detective, when you are searching for something. So being a detective and finding, bugs and in another word, in our childhood, we used to play some puzzle and solving the problem, something like that. So I really, it was my habit, from my childhood. So, but as time go on, went on, I wanted to some, then just test, because I wanted to guide a team, share what I learned and help other grow too. And I also wanted to make, bigger decisions rather than just being a tester or developer. So like what tools we should use and how to make things and how we can do testing and how we can make sure, there is no bug or there is no chances for any error in our software. So as I love to build something new, or if there is something broken, I wanted to fix it by my way, because there is always some way you have to follow that way, but I want to define my way. So I thought, testing is a very good way. During my study time, I was so good in development, as well as today I am also good in development. That is not. So I love it. Suddenly one day I realized most of my classmates, began to call me to fix their bugs or problem or code. And that was amazing at finding hidden bugs and like a superhero, because when everyone is calling you, so you feel like superhero. So it inspired me, and it's something like that. You are taking a magnifier and looking for something and everyone watching around you. So that was the things which inspired me to become a test, and from where my testing journey began. So after some time, suddenly one day my team started to calling me like, the wife, the bug whipper, the man who is, whipping always about bug and looking just bug and bug. But I noticed, something strange. Other classmates were getting confused, missing deadline or using slow methods, and their project is delaying. So I had idea to help them, just I decided I should, develop my some way and some idea, like use some tool and creating some checklist, okay, rather than creating whole program and going and checking and then going code again and again. So I want to develop, some way by, some block of code. If it's okay, so let's move on next step. So that was the, my thing where I developed some, cool checklist with my team and something. And after that, once time came, I completed my MCA. I joined, IBM as a software tester in 2005. After a few years working, one of my manager, one day he saw me, and what he saw, I'm helping others and just also, contributing what I can do, and also telling other, you should do like that and that. So one day he called me and he said to me, very simple, hey Sanjeev, you are not just a great, testing person, but you are also a great, you can lead the team. And I do remember that was one project called Banalex. Banalex is a group in Europe, and that is all about banking. So he assigned me one small job as a team lead. So that was my journey to become a tester to managerial post or leading pattern.
So your journey is really inspiring.
Yeah,
So-
that's right.
Yes, sir. So my next question to you is,
Hmm.
how has your experience with government and commercial projects shaped your QA and testing approach?
Okay, let me tell you, it depends, because as I mentioned, I have been most of time from my, first job to till 2019, I have been working, abroad most of time. I was based in China, but I used to work with, all Asia Pacific, countries, and AP, we called it AP, and some European client. So, working with government and, how to say, commercial project, like playing, two different games, one side you something like that, suddenly you are playing cricket and someone asks you to go play, soccer, so something like that. So when I'm telling you, you can see cricket have a lot of rules if you compare it with the soccer,
Yes,
so
sir.
something like that, so they have, different rules and different expectation, and working style and environment is totally different, so like, when you work with government, so you have follow a lot of strict rules, and move fast and be creative. When you are going for the commercial, so rather than, as well as you are playing the strict rule, but you have to move fast and be creative. But in government, you have to just each end point, just okay, this checklist completed, this checklist completed, something like that. But when we working with commercial project, so we have to be very fast and creative. And other thing, you have to be also flexible and adjust, testing depending on the project time to time. So another way you can tell from the government, I learned like discipline and how to say career planning, where you want, one day you want to be, and what is the discipline. But from commercial project, when I talk, if I want to tell you how to summarize in one word, I learned, speed and flexibility, along with adopt the change as soon as possible, change yourself as per environment. So that is one of the big difference between the government and commercial project. And in little, if you want to summarize in one line, so you can tell something like that. Okay, what you are working with government, so it's like, you are in a mahal, in castle. You are working as a castle project, okay? But when you are working with commercial, so you are in a market, where someone is coming here, I need this, I want that. And in castle, you can see life like, Raja and King, like Rasa, something like that, okay? But when you are working in a market, you have to put yourself and change yourself, how much fast you can change and what you can do. And then we have to adjust myself as fast as we can do. And the biggest challenge, when we feel, when we are working with commercial, choosing the right balance between rules and speed, if you compare with the government and there, that is another challenge. And you can see, final lesson, what I have learned in my, totally, how to say, both, both area, working both government and commercial project helped me understand how to test in different environment. And another thing, choose the right tools and process, and be flexible and smart depending. That's what made me, better quality expert, or you can say tester, or whatever you call in your technical language, as well as a good leader.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I want to ask you something like, so according to you, which sector is more suitable? Like the
See,
government or commercial?
okay, It's depend, if you are going
Yes.
for if you are talking really, you want to learn and you want to grow, so I think commercial is more better. But if you want to stick with, you want to grow but you want to just go in one queue, if you want to go in one queue, so in that way you can call it like government is the most better and more flexible, because there is surety and okay, I have to complete, okay, aaj jo hai 4 पेज मुझे पूरे करना है, so I have completed, I don't have to do extra thing. Okay, but when you are working in market or commercial project, you don't know what is what is coming next. So if you compare,
Yes, sir.
both are different, both are different area.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That was very insightful. So my next question to you, sir, is how did working with DAP, SAP kernel influence your understanding of data analytics and business processes?
Okay, so yeah, that's great. Okay, so when that was a really very big change. I do remember suddenly in 2012 and 2013 things were changing in market. Even data analytics and data science, it used to call different term at beginning, like we used to call big data or ETL, something like that, some technical word. Okay, so but I do remember when SAP was dominating the world, and that things become very different. So let me summarize in one paragraph what you are asking here. Working with DAP SAP kernel helped me understand how data travel inside a legacy company. It will help me to understand how data from where and what and how to go. It helped me, and just like blood flow through our veins in our body, so we know where blood is going, what's happening. And simple, each part of company, like sales, finance, warehouse and delivery, even HR module, there is so many things we have go through when we are working with DAP and SAP kernel. Okay, it's like an organ. Yeah, it's like organ. When we are talking about the DAP and SAP, it's like organ. Okay, and like central nervous system in our body, it's like something like that, making sure every talks to each other using the right way and where data have to communicate and when to have communicate. So that's the main purpose of the DAP kernel. And let me give you a very real world example here, very simple. Like let me think some Indian, let's take one example from Indian market. Okay, in real life example, let's talk about big some retail, or let's take the sector of the retail. Okay, I think we all have heard like Big Bazaar. It's one of the very big retail store. So let's say company like Big Bazaar or D-Mart, we can call it, or Reliance Mart. Okay, and they use SAP to manage their operations all over all branches, like something like, think like that, a customer into a big bazaar store in Mumbai and buy. They store in Mumbai and buys, okay, like 5 kilogram, some brand of like Asirvad atta, okay, and another word you can say, one bottle of how to say, parachute oil, and 2 pack of Maggi noodles. Okay, so let me explain you how data flow behind the scenes. What will happen when we are using SAP DAP kernel? Okay, using the SAP DAP kernel, first thing happen. First thing, one example, POS. We call it like point to sell, point of sell. So system will capture the purchase and data gets set to SAP sales module. There is some modules called like it will go data in SAP sales module. Okay. At the same time, SAP will update. What it will update? The inventory module, because if something is coming and going, so we have also updated our inventory, right? So it will update the inventory module, like reducing stores. If we sell like 5 packet of the Maggi, so it will reduce or minus the 5 packet of the Maggi from our the inventory. Or if we are selling some oil or atta as well as, okay, what I have example. And same thing what will happen, finance module. Okay, like regarding the, it will add some revenue. If we have sell, it will add some revenue. If we have buy, so some money will subtract from our account, something like that. Again, what it will do, it will also update our supply chain module, like check if stock is low or automatically created it. For example, if I have just 5 packet of the Maggi and I have sell it, so I don't need to do manually anything. It will automatic update our supply chain module, and it will tell, hey, our stock is, we don't have enough sufficient stock, so we need to buy that Maggi packet again. So, and last, Of course, it will update our purchase order. So like what you need to do and where to need and who is our customer, it will maintain our thing. Meanwhile, SAP, how to say, also update the our dashboard, every system where managers and their boss, they can see what's happening and what they need to do, how sales is going, and which shops and which shop is selling what, and same time which items are selling the most, and which city or store is performing better, how sales change during festival like Diwali or Independence Day. And same thing if it's so, how to say, winter, so Maggie sales is going up. It's like summer, so rice sales is going up. So it will update our whole day's dashboard by help of the DAP SAP kernel. And all this magic is made possible by because of DAP SAP kernel. That is the main function which moves and processes the data super fast in the background, like a hidden engine. So that is the main use of SAP DAP module.
Yes, sir, that was wonderful point. And so my next question to you is that what have been the most challenging you have had to make when aligning with QA and QA processes with constantly evolving development methodologies?
Okay, so Miss Jindal, I will tell you one thing. Really, I really now I feel like that. Now you are thinking, I should call you like this is a question of hour, because now you have begin to think like and you are exploring QA more and more better. So that is a really question of hour. Okay, okay. Let me tell you one of the biggest challenge. When I face as a QA expert, that was learning how to move faster. That is one of the biggest challenge when you are doing the testing or QA expert. Okay, without losing quality. Another challenge is you are moving faster, as well as you should not lose the quality. That is one of the biggest challenge in the testing environment. Okay, especially when developers start using Agile. There is a method we call in software industry. One is called Agile or DevOps. These are some term, a technical term. I think you guys very well. So when developers using some method like Agile or DevOps, like now this is the latest one. But when we talk about old Q method, it was so slow and step by step. We have to do step by step. Okay, but modern developments want speed, automation, and flexibility. That is the challenge right now. So what I had to do, when when the challenge when I faced, so what I need to do and what I did that time, first change. First I have to change the way of my thinking. That was the first task, because if you see that when I began to work with IT industry 2004, the thing was totally different, but in modern era it was very different. Things are very changing very fast. So change how I think. Then second, learn automation, because that time we do most of things like manual way, and there was some tool like from HP and IBM, and we used to do that. But now because of Agile and DevOps, a lot of things also have been added into testing field. Okay, work closely with developer, that is another challenge, and be part of every sprint, that is another challenge. Because sometimes some cultural things will also come in our way. Think like that. One developer from China, one is from Australia, and I'm from India. So you see that is totally different, and everyone have different spirit. Like Chinese person can work 11 hour, 12 hour without any hassle, just he will continue. But when you talk about the Australian person, he's not going to work like more than 4, 5 or 6 hours. And when we talk about Indian, they want to work, but not like Chinese or not like Australian. They want to they want result oriented thing, not like, okay, 11 hours I have to work, so I will continuously work. So that was the another, we call it like a sprint. Okay, not just at the end, that. Let me tell you one very simple. So like, these days, Indian startups, launching a food delivery, like, like Zomato and Swiggy, you can see. Like, I'm giving you a very simple example. Let's say I'm working with an Indian startup, beginning that build a new food delivery app. We will call it, we can call it like anything XYZ or maybe Zomato, we take the name. Here, how the challenge happened. Like old queue process, it was like waterfall model. We called it like waterfall model. What happened in this? Developer build the entire app first. What will happen? Developer will do, build the entire app first. It will take like 2 or 3 months, okay? Then QA teams will get the app for the testing after 2 and 3 months, okay? We write test cases, manual testing, and check every buttons and something screen and what's happening, not happening, every account section, field, and everything. Like it will take like 3 more weeks, so it's going to be like 4 months, okay? If bug are found, developer, we have to go back to developer and we will ask to fix it, and then again it will come to us, and same process we will repeat it. So here, see, when we talk about the old QA process, which is like waterfall mode, so good for accuracy. It's very good for it. It will give you accurate, what you want, it will give you. But what is the problem? Too slow. It's very slow for the startup. Because this day you can see competition is so high. So if someone is starting company, and it's very slow for them because they don't have that much time, 4 months or 3 months, waiting, and then their app will launch. So that is one of the problem. So for this solution, what we need to do, we have to go for new development process, which is we call Agile and DevOps. Okay. So what will happen? So we are going for Agile. We will release new update every week. Okay, every week. We will not wait 2 or 3. We will not wait like 2 or 3 months. Okay, so we will release new patch or new release every week, and QA, the testing team, will do every test day by day. If this process we call like CI/CD. Okay, so when they are releasing, and same time we are doing CI/CD. So what will happen if there is anything? So it will go back to developer, and same time he is fixing, but another team is working for the another release. So things will speed up. So now developer push change every day or 2 days. For example, that means there is no long waiting list. Okay, there is no long waiting list, and QA must test while the product is being built. And same time, meanwhile, when developer is developing the product, same time QA will do that. Okay, release are published automatically if everything is okay. So we don't need to do anything. Okay, everything is okay, and QA have done it. So release will automatic go to automatic. It will release and update. You can see our very good example of our some app in Google. You can see when we are running play, we will get the very simple option. Okay, this software need to update, so we will go play store and we will update. So that is a new way. We call it like Agile and plus DevOps. Okay, the challenge what I face as a QA, too many builds. That is another. When we are doing the new things, also so many builds come. So testing new feature daily is hard manually. It's really very hard. Daily. Last minute changes. Sometimes at the last minute they will make some changes like featuring, and they will add some new function or something, and tight deadline. Another big challenge is the deadline is very tight. We cannot go beyond the time. And so where we have to go? Automation. Okay, where we have to go? Automation. So we will get what? Automation pressure. We will get that. This is another challenge. We call it automation pressure. Like developer automate their task. So I had to do same thing. I have to automate my testing also. So that is another question. And if there is any gap between communication, then it's gonna also big problem. So in 5, if you want to summarize in 5 points, too many builds, what I feel, and second, last minute changes, 3, tight deadlines, 4, automation pressure, 5, communication gap. That is things. So for this, if I can keep track all of this, so no problem, there is no challenge. And this is what I feel till now.
That was truly eye-opening, sir. So, sir, my next question to you is, what strategies do you use to manage and coordinate QA teams across different time zones and geographies?
Yeah, that's actually, see, when we talk about this thing, most of time what we need to do, we have to see, although we have like when we talk Agile and Scrum, there is some management method, we call it Scrum. Okay, so we have communication day by day, as well as it depends how your team and what product you are working. So for example, I'm from India, my another team member is in Germany. Okay, so you can see there is time gap. Okay, now you see, yeah, and another team member, for example, he is in USA. That is another time gap. So when, for example, when like in night 11 o'clock, even as well as USA have like they have so many time zone as well as not one or two. You know, like in India we have one time zone. So that is another. So what we can do, we can divide our calls in some time slot. Rather than going every day or every hour, and we can use some software like Jira. It's like the Jira is one call, one software which is for tracking, and they can track. So even I'm sleeping, I can raise my ticket, or I can tell, okay, I have found this bug, and just put on Jira. So we can use some this kind of automation tool, as well as some online tools to communicate each other, as well as we have to manage some weekly call as well, according to everyone time. So that is another way how we can cooperate when we are working in different time zone.
That was very wonderfully explained, sir. So, sir, my next question is to you is how do you integrate test automation into projects like without compromising or manual testing quality?
Okay, so see here, I can tell you very simple. When we talk, see first, when we are talking about this, first we should know what is the challenges, and then we can tell how to adopt that thing. Okay, so here is the 5-way. I can tell first challenge is manual testing was very slow. So what is my adoption way? How do I do it? Okay, so simple. I learned test automation like some tool like these days one tool called Selenium. Selenium is like one automation tool. So rather than manual testing, I can use that tool. Another thing, which is the automation. Okay. Another thing like feature change work frequently. So what changes are coming? It was like challenge. It is very challenge. The things will change very frequently. So what is the solution for that? Then I start using agile testing method. That is another solution what I have. Then no time for test document. This is another challenge when you are doing automation, or things are very tidy and you have deadline. So you don't have, because test is one of also very important part. If you are not creating document, you cannot keep the track every change and what happened, when happened, how happened. So in that scenario, we have to use some way. So what is the solution for this? Switch to lightweight test planning rather than using very big log document like Jira. Jira is one of the very bug tool. It's it track the whole thing, and what changing it will automatically record itself. And simple release work continue. That is another challenge. Even software is in market, but still some new patches or new new updates are coming. So what is the solution for that? So like I will use some way, one pipeline we used to call it like CI/CD pipeline. So we will use like CI/CD pipeline. That is another solution. And the last, which is one of the another big hurdle or trouble you can say in testing, which is like need better than sync. All teams should be synced at the same time. It is not like oh, you have done, later I will do. So things should be synced same time. So what is the best way to get resolve this solution, this problem? So for this, we will use something like attend daily stand-up calls, even 5 minutes, even 10 minutes, rather than 1 hour, 2 hours. So this is another, and we will do like some sprint planning meetings. So that is the way how we can adopt from we can resolve our this challenge and adopt ourselves in testing.
Okay, so that was wonderful. So, sir, my next question to you is, what core skills do you look for in interns or junior QA test engineers at Advika Solutions?
Okay, see, if someone most of the time when we need some new tester, okay, so when I have to hire some intern, or you can say junior team member in my, so first thing, I don't expect them to know everything. I don't care what they know, how much they know. I don't care about that. So but I look for there are 5 core value or 5 core skill which really I pay attention before I hire anyone for my team. Like even they are slow, I don't care, just like I said. So what are that 5 core value where I pay attention? The first, really, are they curious? If they are not curious, they cannot learn anything, or they cannot find any, because curiosity is the how to say necessity is the mother of all invention, right? So some curiosity is the one another way how you can to know anything, new things coming. So like want to know why and what. If someone is good, if they are aware about W family, W family, when, what, how, if they are, if they have this basic concept clear, I will tell, okay, you can come. Another thing I can teach myself, that is not problem. Or we have document, you can go, and we have library, or we have a lot of, team, you can go and just, put yourself. And second, basic testing knowledge. I really want at least they have basic testing knowledge, like what is the testing and how many types of testing, what testing, what will bring out. This is the second point I want to see in new. And third, like communication skill, that is one of the most important. Even sometimes developer does not to communicate, even their team lead and team project manager can communicate with other. But if you find any bug and you are not able to explain other, so how you can become a good, even you are good tester. So communication skill is very, in another part, very important. The four, which I, attention to detail. It's not like, oh, I find this bug, that's okay, no. But you should know why this bug is coming. If you are not able to find the bug, if you are not able to understand the bug, even just you are showing the bug, so it means you don't know what is the reason for this bug. So another thing, attention to detail, like notice a small issue, like other may miss, like a tiny spelling mistake, or loading simple delay, like these things should delay, like this thing should be load like 105 seconds, but it is taking 8 seconds. Why it is taking? So you should be aware about that. So you should know very, very tiny details. And the 5, willingness to learn. That is the most important point. Like excited to try new tools, ask question. If you don't ask, you don't know. So one tester should have these 5 things. Number 1, curiosity. Number 2, basic testing knowledge. Number 3, communication skill. Number 4, like attention to details. Number 5, willingness to learn. These are the 5 things these are the core thing I like. And I don't think so I like. Most of teams, they want to know, if they this quality, any new learner or new, how to say, intern have, really they can not only become a good tester, in even they go anywhere. As I mentioned, if you know W family, you know all answers. Simple.
So, sir, related to this question only, my next question to you is how can a student with no QA experience demonstrate potential and get a chance to work with your team? Like, if I talk about myself, I'm also not from this sector. So, how can we get a chance to work with your teams?
What's simple? If you have saw a lot of James Bond movie, that is the first thing. Okay, you are good with
Okay,
detective
sir.
or not? Okay, my mean,
Okay, sir.
you should find the reason. Okay, and second, if you have good communication and you have to work on basic testing knowledge, if you can improve in these 3 areas, so other things you can learn later on, that is not problem. So what are the other things? Like attention to detail, and
Okay,
willingness to learn. But first, if you have these 3 quality, then you can join interesting team, even any field. I don't think so it's applied for just testing.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, so my next question is, what
Mm.
technologies or programming languages should students start learning to be eligible for like QA and data roles?
Okay, let me tell you very simple. If you are let me come back to simple, very good. I think your last question and this question similar. Okay, so let me
Okay, sir.
again summarize it, and let me sum up it. Okay, if you are like a student with no experience, okay, here is
Yes,
what
sir.
you should learn step by step, because I think it will answer your both questions. Okay, so first you should know like which type role you are looking in when you are talking
Yes, sir.
about QA. Okay, so there is like 2 things. One is called QA testing, and another is called data role. First thing you should
Okay,
aware
sir.
about that. So what is the QA testing? When you are going to learn QA testing, so you have to learn like manual testing, and as well as SQL,
Yes,
Python,
sir.
Selenium, and some tool it be called it like Postman, and also Jira. Okay, so these are the some bug tracking tool. Okay, and when you are talking about data role, because data role as well as also itself a tester, because you are trying to find inside of the data, it's itself a
Yes,
tester.
sir.
Okay, so what you know, at least at the beginning when you are going to join this industry, at least Excel, people just say Excel, but Excel is not a small thing. It is itself a very big, how to say, data management system, if you see. Okay, like and another SQL again, as well as when we are talking about data roles, and Python, Power BI, or Tableau. It's these are for the presentation like dashboard and something, but inside you find you have to present this something, and you have to also go for some libraries like pandas, and NumPy. So these both two role depend which role you are choosing. So these courses you have to find and you have to learn. Okay, let me explain in very simple example why it matter and how it matter, why we learn for the Indian job market. Okay, like quality assurance when we are talking about testing roles. Okay, so first you should know what is the testing type of testing. Again, I'm like such as what is the functional testing, what is the performance testing, what is the regression testing, what is the usability testing. Okay, and how to write the test cases and bug report. These are the things you have to know when you are learning the manual testing. And when you are going for the like SQL, so SQL, what is SQL? So learn how to write queries like select, where, joins. There is so many things like as if you want to, it's like there is five component of SQL like DTL, DML, DCL, DQL. These things you have to know, then you will become good in Excel. So how to fetch data from database, these all things you have to know. And why it matters? Because tester often check if data stored in the database is correct or not. If you don't know how to fetch the data from database, so how you can check, such as, for example, there is one field in our database. It's for like Indian mobile number. So we all know Indian mobile have 10 digit, right? So if I fetch the data from there, and I know if there is one, if that digit is 9 digits, so it means that data is not right. Another way, if I want to make more perfect case, so you can see most of Indian, I think all Indian mobile phone start from 6, 7, 8, 9 at the beginning. Apart that any number at beginning coming, it's mean it is not Indian mobile number. So what is the two condition? First, the number should start from 6, 7, 8, 9, and second, it should be 10 digit. So how you can test? If you don't know SQL, you will not able to fetch the data. So for that, you have to be expert there, like MySQL, SQLite, or like PG admin. There is so many tools, Oracle, and something like that. Okay, so next, what I earlier mentioned, basic like Python. So you don't need to become very expert in Python. Python itself in a very wide range, very big, like it's like samundar, it's like sea. So
Yes, sir.
you should know basic. You should know like basic programming language, like what is the variable, what is the loop, what is the control statement, something like that.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and simple script to test, input or automate the task. Because if something you want to do again and again, as earlier I mentioned, if you do things like manually, so really you cannot reach your timeline. So you have to create
Yes,
some
sir.
program which run itself. So simple, I want to check, if some new data is coming in my how to say database. So I will create very simple one script. Okay, select this from this table, okay, and for this value, if the length is 10, okay, and then I will use some function and extract the first, how to say, the first digit of that number. It is 6, 7, 8, 9. If okay, then it will record in Jira the test case pass. If anyone is not okay, then it will record in Jira bug found. What bug found it will mention. So for that purpose, you have to learn Python. And Python is used in like both, like test automation as well as data science. And one, Python is really very necessary these days. It is not just about, you can see now the whole thing like Google, and they all develop use first PHP and something. Now everyone is moving suddenly on Python. You can see. So Python, okay, write a Python script to check, like just I have mentioned. Same thing, some testing tool like Selenium. It will also help you when you have created some, you want to do automation testing like some website. You want to check, okay, the password length is okay or not. So I sometimes I don't have time to run my script again and again. So I will create some task in Selenium, and it will do test test automation. Most modern companies, like they want automation tester for testing. So we can use Selenium ID or something like WebDriver, Python, Unix label. There is so many. Okay, so these are the, and then we have some API like Postman. Okay, so what is the Postman? It will most time what it will do, it will just check like 200 cases or like page found or not found, why server connection is created or not. By name you can see Postman. It will just, when things come like a request and how to say a request, when we request something, it is delivering or not. So for that thing we can use this API tool. So these are the basic tool we must know. At the last, Jira, it will record all our changes or thing. So these are things we must learn at beginning, then we can go for the QA and testing, even data scientist.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that engaging and informative talk. And you got me really interested in these things. So I am very respectful and thank you for sharing your thoughts, valuable insights with us today. And if now anybody wants to ask any question from the audience, they can unmute their mic and ask the questions, or they can comment. They can write in comment box.
I think you guys wake up if someone is sleeping. Not like that, just don't waste your time. Come with bright idea. What I said, if you will not ask, you will not know. And really, DSPR as are doing very good work, and you should follow these team and do that thing.
Anybody have any questions? So I hand over this session to Ishita ma'am.
Okay, as there is no questions, now I would like to grant a vote of thanks on behalf of DSPSR. I sincerely thank our distinguished speaker, Mr. Sanjeev Yadav, sir, for his motivating words, insightful thoughts, and for generously sharing his professional journey with us. Your experience left a lasting impression. Your journey left a lasting impression. I'm equally grateful to our session moderator, Ms. Priya Jindal, for her smooth coordination and engaging facilitation throughout the event. Special thanks to our respected faculty management and all attendees for contributing to the success of this session with your attention and enthusiasm. Your involvement made the online interactive session both inspiring and impactful. Warm regards and thank you once again, everyone. You may leave now.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.